Shalom, my name is Yehoshua Yaakov Ben Avraham. I'm making this video from Jerusalem. Shalom. Okay, really what's it about? Humanomics. I'm its author, the trilogy, New Economic Paradigm, New Cognitive Behavioral Science Paradigm. Okay. Basically, I've made some tweets that have been asking very tough questions. And so we'll put some things in focus. Humanomics is a trilogy. It's a movement. It will have its own portal of necessity. Why? It's the brand, because it's the solution globally. It's not on the radar. Okay, what have I been saying that's been controversial? I have said that Plan A has failed. ARRP, TARP, dead on arrival. All this, when I hear Bernanke start talking about things are starting to look good, that's when I really worry. All we have to do is look back at Bernanke's prognostications of the past. Look, everybody's lying. And the question is one of degree. They're not malevolent, they're not bad or evil or wicked people. Barack Obama, for example, he's getting letters now from kids in Elkhart, Goshen. You should read them and listen to them. They actually looked at a slideshow that said, here's the solution. They said, this is what we want. And they're going to try to get other schools and other areas of the country to write letters and ask for it. Look, there's a solution. It's Humanomics. It's a trilogy. It's comprised of the two paradigms, receiving to give and the integration of labor, the latter being the new economic paradigm. It's not on the radar. He's got to go with Plan B. We hear from the president a very fundamental contradiction. Well, the media is out celebrating last night, and they're telling jokes in Washington, and Obama is praising them about the fantastic job they're doing. I think they're doing a miserable job, frankly, because the most basic questions are not being asked. Specifically, here's the example. Obama's making a fundamental contradiction. He's saying, here's my plan, we need health care. We need independent energy independence. We need this. We need that. Here's his five. We need to cut the budget. We need the moon, the stars. Here's his five major. That's my vision, and that's my strategy. Well, there is no vision and there is no strategy, and this is the foundation for the future. Okay, here's the contradiction. The media, if they were awake, which they're not, and they're not trained in economics, if you have a prescription that's foundational, that's fundamental to affecting a transformation of the structure of the economy, the first question from the media has to be, what's the prescription? What creates wealth? What's the new prescription? He hasn't got one. And in fact, the new prescription of wealth creation is the integration of labor. So the media is sleeping, and Barack is getting a pass. Barack Obama's, okay, so that's a fundamental contradiction. There is no prescription. So the media has missed that, and all that comes with that. Now, in addition, what else has to be said? I have been critical of a number of things, and my criticisms are to develop the president, not to ridicule him, to raise the bar, to raise the standard. Look, Plan A has failed. We need Plan B yesterday. And there are a number of prime ministers, 3 or 4 around the world, who are starting to awaken to this critical need, and there are others who are prepared to act, and we all have to act. We have to brand Humanomics in general, and the new economic paradigm in particular, and we have to compel Barack Obama to get on with Plan B. And I want to say one other thing what this video really should be most focused on. I'm the author of Humanomics trilogy and its 2 paradigms, and I live in 2 modest little rooms here in Jerusalem from a big 9-room house 23 years ago in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, as the servant of kings and rulers. And these criticisms that I've made apparently have got some attention, because I live in a very modest neighborhood, religious neighborhood. Went to the synagogue Friday night. Here are 3 religious Haredi with streimels and big hats come in, and they're spies. And one tells me he's from Chicago, he's English speaking, and he wants to know all about me. And this morning, all of a sudden, my web connection is not operating, and I'm on the phone with Basic, and immediately they want to send a technician because there's a problem with the infrastructure, and they've got to come into my home to fix it. Well, that's not the way things work in Israel. In fact, when you have a problem, it usually takes a couple of weeks before they'll get around to you. And so there's an intense spying. And the client is Washington, and I had to venture a guess. It's Rahm Emanuel and David Axelrod in the White House saying, who's this Jew who's stirring the pot in Jerusalem? Well, let's put it in perspective. I'm a spiritual leader, not a political leader, but I'm also an extremely qualified didactic scientist. And when I see that 90% of the Jews support Obama, which is 3 times more than the Prime Minister of Israel, that's unprecedented. And I see that they're lost, and that we desperately need a spiritual leader, and that's what I am. And so the politicians are taking notice, not because of what I say and the content, but the political ramifications. That's all they measure. And so I'm putting this out on the web to make sure that this is announced and in the public domain. I object to it. You do not, and Jews do not. It's Hillel Shem, spy on a spiritual leader on a ghetto. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but my accomplishments are what they are. And it comes right at the time of the anniversary of a great righteous Jew. His name was Shimon Bar Yochai, and the hug or holiday is Lag Bomer, which is the day after tomorrow. And he had a similar kind of problem with the Romans who murdered Rabbi Akiva, and they heard that he had some objections, and they sent out a notice to arrest him and his son. So they fled, and they hid in the cave for 12 years. And he became the most accomplished of his generation, a Torah scholar, and his son. Okay, having said that, this is not the way you respond. If you have a question in the White House for your boss, Mr. Obama, Rahm Emanuel, or David Axelrod, or any of you, you come directly, or you can go and Google. There's 100 million videos, links, blogs, search engine results. There's a very wide, broad, and deep array of information about me on the web, but you don't come to my shul and you don't start tweaking the local Shabbatniks, which are the secret service of the Israeli, whatever you want to call it, government, Bolshevik national, to spy on Yehoshua. That's something you just don't do. It's Hillel Shem. So I object to it. And the objection is herewith raised that it's put in the public domain, and it should stop henceforth. And in the 23 years I'm here, this kind of outspokenness had me at one occasion face a Banana Republic show trial and 86 days in jail, and 3 or 4 other arrests. So, in the face of a naive world jury, going around blabbing about what a great democracy Israel is, I can assure you they're exceedingly naive. The reality on the ground is something quite different. I'm an American, a citizen. I am not a citizen of Israel. They refuse to give me citizenship, and they have only political reasons for that. Having said that, I thank you for listening. I'm finished with my complaints, and I will finish on the happy note. There is a solution to the collapse of the world economy and its capital markets in particular. It will be long-term. It's based upon the convergence, East-West convergence model, because both capitalism and communism collapsed. They're not coming back. And the old economic paradigm, the division of labor for the industrial, is finished. It will not be coming back. The integration of labor, which I've authored, is the new economic paradigm and its model. As new global technological infrastructure will require a global $5 trillion investment from the G20. Only 2 of that will come from America. 3 will come from the rest of the G20. And the rest is commentary. And the one who they require to lead this process of transformation is none other than Yehoshua Yaakov. I'm the didactic scientist and author. And I'm not going to look kindly upon serving people who come and spy on me in my shul and in my home. And I don't think anybody else would. Let's stop the sham and the ridiculous pretense. These are political leaders, and I'm a spiritual leader. And you just don't do that. Thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua. Blessings To all of you in Elkhart, Goshen, especially the children, thank you very much for your letters to the president. I bless you in Kabel B'Shuvatet, that's Hebrew, and in English it's receiving to give, which means receiving the authentic you to give the authentic you to yourself, to your spouse, to your family, your community, your nation. Thank you. I'm Yehoshua. Shalom.